Hello, hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Let's get IG on here. How is everybody doing out there today? Hey guys, thanks for jumping in. Let's see, IG is live. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How you guys doing on this lovely Tuesday afternoon? It looks really, really great today out here. I just love it here in sunny California. Hey King, how are you doing? Thanks for jumping in here. All right, guys, Elaine Proby here, CEO PROBY'S Tax and Accounting Services. Of course, we have been in business for over 35 years, running an operation here, which has a lot to do with finances, accounting, taxes, and, all of your business affairs. So what I like to do and what I'm keep doing actually, is to share with you guys how to run and operate your business very successfully, to make sure that, of course, you guys stay in business and make all the money there is out there. There's so much money to be made. I want to make sure that you guys get your piece of the pie. 82 King, thank you. Hello there. How are you? Hey, Shreese, how are you there? Hey, Laverne, good afternoon, sis. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Karen. How are you? How are you doing? Awesome. Good to see you today, girl. Good to see you. So we're going to learn some stuff, financial policies to protect your small business. And you know what? This is so important because a lot of times when we start a business and we're so busy trying to put everything in place, and sometimes we lose sight of some of the most important things that has to do with our business operations, right? And one of the things that I wanted to make sure that we stay on top of, guys, we have to stay on top of our finances that's coming into a small business. And it doesn't matter how large the business is, how small the business is, you got to stay on top of your finances. You got to stay on top of the money, right? That's what it is. You got to stay on top of the money. Hey, Dante, good afternoon, Auntie. How are you doing, nephew? Thanks for jumping in here. All right. So, yeah, we have to make sure that we stay on top of our finances. I have a question. Haven't filed last year's taxes. So, yeah, 82 King, you can still file your last year's taxes. Go ahead and get last year and this year taxes in there, because there might be stimulus checks and stuff like that you have not received because you haven't filed these taxes, and you want to file these taxes this year, of course, so you can get, whatever money is out there for you. And you want to do it as soon as possible, because I urge everyone to get that money as soon as you can. And of course, there's money that you can use currently now and or save or invest to make more money for you. Okay. So if you would like for us to assist you with that, call us at the office at 323-290-9034. We'll be able to help you with that. Okay. So great. Any other questions? Just put it in the chat below. You guys hit like and share on this video. Hit like and share. Get everybody involved. This is a lot of amazing stuff, right? And like I said, once you're running a business, you can't do everything yourself. So a lot of times you have to get assistance. You have to get some people to help you with operating your business, right? And one of the things I want to make sure is that we try to stay on top of the money. We have to stay on top of the cash. And, not that you are not trusting anyone that works for you, but at the same time, you have to make sure that you have systems and policies in place to make sure that you know what's going on at all times. So you can stay on top of the cash, so you can continue to generate money. Okay, so this is really what this is all about. So financial policies to protect your business that you need to have in place. And the first point today, guys, is having checks and balances. All right. So what we mean by checks and balances is that you have to make sure that, you have someone, let's say you have a person dedicated to run your accounts payable department. A person that's dedicated to pay all of your bills, right? Then you have a person that's dedicated to receive all the money, that will send out the invoices for all the services that you do, and that person is going to receive all the money. So you have different people that's having different types of responsibilities. And when you have it done that way, at least it's easier to have checks and balances, because you do not have the same person that's getting the bill, is the same person that writing the check, is the same person that handling all the cash, right? You don't want to have that, because you don't want to look up and have something paid that wasn't checked properly. You have cash coming in that you may not know what happened to it, because it may have been used to pay something else. There's got to be a system in place, and you got to have people operating those systems to make sure that there are checks and balances. You're on top of the cash, right? And not to say that you're mistrusting anybody, but you have to have a way to make sure that the cash is handled properly, right? You got to have a way to make sure the cash is handled properly. Hey, Dan Marcus, good afternoon. Good to see you here. All right, I've been checking out your show. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome stuff. All right, so you're welcome, Editor King. You're very welcome. Okay. So what we're talking about is financial policies, and the first one is the check and balances. Make sure that you have that in place. Someone is paying the bills, someone is receiving the cash, someone else is making those deposits, right? You can separate all these tasks to different people so that you have someone is checking someone else at all times. At the end of the day, you have somebody that reconcile the bank accounts, right? You have to have an accountant, someone else that reconcile the bank account. This person makes sure that all the money that comes in went to the bank, right? All the money that come and goes to the bank. If you're doing, let's say, retail sales, guys, y'all know this. If you're doing retail sales, you have to make sure that your cash register balances out. You have to make sure the cash that came in that cash register, you have to make sure that report, when it totals itself out, if it's $1,000 or $5,000 for that day, you have to make sure that it balances out to the cash that's in the register, right? It's just that simple. We have to do this stuff on a daily basis. You cannot be too busy to stay on top of your cash, because at the end of the day, you need to know where all the money is, because you still have bills to pay. You still have employees to pay. You still have stuff you need to do. All right. So you got to stay on top of the cash. Good afternoon, Margie. Good to see you on here. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So that's part of the checks and balances, guys. So don't have the same person doing everything, of course, and then they can have limited access, let's say, to your bank account. You can have, say, the person that's writing the check may have limited access to the bank account. They can figure out what the balances are. They can determine what checks that needs to go out that day. There's certain responsibilities you can give this person, but at the end of the day, make sure that you stay on top of all of your activities. Make sure you stay on top of all the cash that comes in and all the monies that goes out. Make sure there's an invoice for every check that goes out. Okay. So make sure that you stay on top of this, guys. All right. All right. So that's the first point today. I wanted to make in terms of protecting your small business, making sure that things are in place. First thing I wanted to talk about today. The second point, this is so important, right? This is keeping an audit trail. Number 2, keep an audit trail. So when we talk about audit, everyone get all excited about, oh my God, maybe it's the IRS going to audit. This is going to be a problem. It's all that stuff. So there are so many different types of audit, and I will mention a few of them to you guys today. But again, keeping an audit trail is a very good thing for you as the business owner. Why? Because now you are on top of everything that goes on in your business, right? So it's not only for the government, only for all the other people who may audit you, but it's also so that you, as the business owner, can stay on top of your affairs as well, right? So that's what it is by keeping an audit trail. And hey, Naz, good afternoon. Hey, Cognac, thanks for jumping on here. Thank you, guys. All right, so keeping the audit trail, guys, what you want to do is make sure that you track, right? You track all of your transactions. When there's an audit by, say, the government, any of the taxing agencies, and, audits might be slim to none. You may never get one, but you never know when you would get one. And you got to be ready, because I've seen a lot of companies completely go out of business because they don't have stuff in order. There's an audit, there's stuff that they can find. If you are not able to prove that the government is wrong about what they're saying about your business or what they say that you owe, because you don't have proper documentation to say, no, that's not what it is, this is what it is, you owe that money. You owe that money, okay? So you have to have proper audit trails. Make sure that you keep copies of all the invoices, all the bills that you're paying. You got to be able to trace back, right, the source of those expenses to allow you to really deduct them on your tax return. They can disallow any expenses you do not have any backup for. They could be completely disallowed. Guys, you can make $100,000 and you can spend $70,000 of it. And if you don't have a good audit trail, if you don't have enough documentation to prove that you spend that money on viable expenses, they could disallow all that write-off and have you pay taxes on everything, right? I've seen it happen. And I've seen folks having to pay those taxes because they don't have proper audit trail. I've done several audits where, you have to try to negotiate with the auditor and say, hey, they had to have spent money to operate the business, and certain things they may allow you. But if you have everything in order, you don't have to really worry about that. Okay, so proper audit trail. Make sure that you have invoices for everything you pay out. All the monies that you collected, guys, make sure that it is received against. You send invoices out. You got monies that come in against those invoices. Make sure you deposit into a dedicated bank account, right? Have a dedicated business bank account, people. Go ahead and open a dedicated business bank account. Make sure that all your business related income goes into that dedicated bank account, because the first thing when there's an audit, the first thing they will do is, let me have your bank account. And they want to identify every single dime that went in there, and you need to make sure that you can answer to that, right? So this is why we're doing this. Have a dedicated bank account. So you give an invoice, someone pays you, that money goes to the business bank account. You keep that money there. You use that cash to pay your business-related expenses, right? So if someone gives you an invoice, you write the check and pay them, or however you get that money to them. So there is a trace of the money that comes in, how it came in, why it came in, is it taxable income? Because you can get money from other sources that goes into your business bank. It could be a loan from someone, from an agency. It could be a loan from yourself, goes into your business bank account. However, if you don't have proper audit trail, you don't have invoices to prove what is income and what is not income, guess what? You will be paying taxes on a loan that you may never have to pay taxes on, because you cannot prove that that money was not income. Okay, so have all of your invoices, everything, all the bills you pay out, all the invoices, everything that you bill, keep that in a dedicated bank account, right? So this, again, like I said, the audit trail is to track everything from the source. It helps you internally. There's internal audit. It helps you for the operation, so you know what's going on, right? There's external audit. Some of you guys have businesses that needs to give an audit to, like I have clients who have these homes. They may have to do an audit for, let's say, a regional center or whatever, and they have to have an external auditor comes in and make recommendation based on the way they are running their operation. So it's not only just for the government agencies. There are audits for internal affairs. There's audit for external affairs. There's audit that you need to stay in compliance with. You have that type of audit as well. You have payroll audit. You have workers' comp audits. There's so many different type of audit. That's the reason why, look, if you keep your books in order and you have everything going right and you have records of all your stuff, again, you have nothing to worry about, right? You have nothing to worry about. You don't want anything to take away any of that cash that you are earning in your business as profit, right? And then, again, it helps you to make sure your business is operating profitable and you know where your money is going. So that's the second point today, guys, the audit trail. Third point, and we're going to knock this one out. This is going to be great because this is going to make our life real easy, right? So the third point today, guys, you need to be ready to adapt, right? Ready to adapt. So what we mean by that is automation. Automation is here. A lot of us, like myself, we came from that era where everything was manually done. You manually write a check, you manually deposit. Everything was done manually. So we have to be ready to adapt. You as a new business person, you have to be ready to adapt to all of some of the new software, some of the new systems, things that are going to not only make your business operation easier, will make you more efficient, make you more profitable. And guess what? It will help you and assist you in the process of keeping the checks, balances, and the audit trail, right? So this is the third point today, guys. Be ready to adapt. You can have a software system that will pay all your bills. You put all your bills in there. You can automatically have checks paid from there. You can have a software system that you can account for all of the monies that come into business, right? There's a software system that you can have in place to process your payroll, process your accounting records. There's systems that are set up that you know who logs in, when they log in, when they log out of your system, right? Every employee, everyone that comes in, You know, when everyone have access to what they have access to, you can have access denied, you can have access granted. There's all this stuff that you can do with adapting to different type of software operating system, right? And then at the same time, these software systems will give us the reports that we need, right? Give us proper financial reporting. It's give us the audit trail will be there, because of course it will have all those invoices that you paid. You can have copies of that stuff in there. You can have all the receivables, all the monies that came in. You can have copies of all that in one place. So your audit trail, everything will be all in one place. So we got to adapt to these new systems, these operational software that is out there, guys. Find one that you can use that is very inexpensive, right? And you can create certain things yourself. So it's not, everything doesn't have to cost you a whole bunch of money, right? So this is what we want to do. So adapt to automation, help your business a lot more efficient. It will also allow you to stay on top of everything, because you can go to one place and find everything that you need, and you can run all the reports that you need, so you can stay on top of everything. All right. Hey, thanks for jumping over here at IG. All right. Yes. So you guys, this is what I'm talking about today. You have to make sure that you stay on top of your operations, because there's no point in putting all this time, all this money you invested, start this business. No matter what it is, if it's a retail, if it's a store, if it's a restaurant, you go through all the changes to set all this stuff up. And you guys wonder why sometimes you see a business get started, doors just open, and you go back down that street, or you check again, they're no longer there. You get on the website, they're no longer there. And they invested a lot of money, right? And the reason for this is that you didn't set the foundation right. You didn't put a lot of stuff in place immediately. A lot of businesses go out of business because they wind up owing taxes right off the top. They can be, they start a corporation, they haven't paid the fee for that, and that stuff can mount up, and before you know it, they owe so much more before they even get started. I've had people say to me, you know, I had so much more money than when I started my business, simply because what they didn't do was they didn't set things up right, that they weren't operating efficiently. So you wind up owing every taxing agency all your licensing fee. And then money that's coming in, you have no system in place, no accounting system, and nothing to track your activity. Okay, so that's not what we want to do. We can't just focus on, oh, I love doing this, and this is what I'm going to make money on, and that's all you do. You have to have the business operation, the business system, and your accounting, and all these policies in place. All right, can't emphasize enough. This is what's going to keep us in business, and this is what's going to assist us to grow a business. We cannot increase revenue if we don't have a foundation, right? The operation will run the business. Okay, the system will run the business. So let's recap that today, guys. I hope that was not too much. Hey, Taj Nash, good afternoon. Thank you for jumping on here. Okay, thanks for jumping on here. Hi, Karen. Thank you for jumping on over here as well. We are talking about financial policies to protect your business. Again, there's 3 points that I made today. You guys make notes of this. It doesn't matter how small or how big your business is. I always emphasize this. If you're making $5,000, I've had businesses start off with $4.99 on something. When they first started, those people are making millions of dollars right now. So, and it's because they put all the systems in place and they keep a good financial accounting system. All right. So first thing we want to talk about as far as protecting your small business, make sure there's checks and balances. Have different people dedicated to write checks, receive cash, send out invoices, balance your bank account. Have different people dedicated to do that stuff. You can have a clerk doing the paying of the checks. You have a clerk collecting the cash. You can have your accountant in place that will balance your books and records and make sure that all of the money and all of the disbursement was actually viable expenses and viable income, right? So that's what that is. First point, checks and balances. Second point, the audit trail. Let's not think that the audit trail is just for the government agencies. It's also for internal affairs. It's also for you to make sure things are in place, that you know what's going on with your business operation, what's going on with your cash, when it comes in, when it goes out, is it being spent properly? Are those invoices viable? Did someone check them to make sure that they were viable bills? It's also for you to make sure that you're running an efficient operation. So And then the flip side of that, of course, if the IRS showed up and want to do an audit, oh, well, come on in. We've got everything in place. There is no problem. There's no problem to do a payroll audit. There's no problem for any agency to do any type of internal or external audit because we have everything in place, right? We are fine. So that's the second point today. And the third point, be ready to adapt. Automation, all these software that is here, all these different operating systems. In my company, we have so many different operating systems, you know, and again, like I said, I didn't realize that you'd have to adapt to all these different systems. But one, it makes your life so much easier. Two, there's a lot more efficiency, right? And three, it allows you to grow your business, and there is no limit to how much you can grow once you have the right system in place. So you have to adapt to some of these automation, guys. You cannot function without it, or else you will be limiting how much money you can make, right? That is not why we get business. We're in business to make all the money we can. All right, so that is my 3 point today, guys. I want to thank y'all for jumping on here. If you guys have any question or concern, please put it in the chat below, and we'll come back through here and make sure that I pick up those questions. So leave your questions, leave your comments in the chat below. We'll come back through and get it. If you guys need any help with your taxes, this is tax season. The IRS started processing taxes yesterday, which is the 22nd. Yeah. So they are processing taxes now, so we can get those in now so you can really get your refund early. And so if you guys need help with that, you can give us a call at PROBY'S Tax and Accounting at 323-290-9034, or you guys can visit our secure website. You can create an account, upload all your documents. We'll be informed that it's there. We can go through everything. Everything is automated. Automation, which we just talked about. All right. So no matter where you are in the U.S. or even outside of the U.S., we can get your taxes processed in any state. Okay. So upload your documents and we'll get that done for you. More just said great information. Thank you, Elaine. Thank you, Twin, for joining. Yes, yes, yes. I really do appreciate you guys for jumping on here. And then we'll be back on Thursday afternoon. So what are we doing on Thursday afternoon? This is going to be, look, you guys have to come back Thursday and check this out. The unemployment insurance update. There's a lot of stuff that's happening with the EDD here in the state of California, and I'm sure elsewhere there's the same thing going on. You guys need to hear about this for all the people who have gotten unemployment last year. We need to talk about what's going on with that. We need to talk about some requirements and different things that they're asking you to do. And I want to express that to you guys, explain it to you guys so you understand what that is. And then we can figure out what it is that we need to give them for documentation, okay? So you guys stay tuned. I'll see you guys back here on Thursday, all right? With that said, I am up out of here. I'll come back and look for your questions and or your comments, all right? So with that said, guys, I'm out of here. You have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday afternoon, and you guys take care of each other and take care of yourself. Bye-bye.